In a few of my videos, you guys have been asking me, what are those keybinds? Like, why do you scroll to jump? And more importantly, why do you have space for an ability? To answer your question, I'm going to be discussing 10 of the most important in-game settings that are holding you back from Diamond. I am top 1000 and I have more than 600 hours in the finals, so I know what I'm talking about. Going back to what I said, scroll wheel to jump is better than spacebar. Here's why. To perform a B-hop with spacebar, you are required to time it more precisely, which is harder than just scrolling down. Scrolling sends multiple inputs in that same amount of time. This means that B-hopping will be much more consistent with scroll wheel since you can't really mistime it. And if you jump with scroll wheel, spacebar can just be set to anything. I put mine as one of my abilities because it was convenient for me. Your keybind should be comfortable to use without overlapping something. Here's what I mean by overlapping. Let's take default keybinds for example. The special is bound to Q. You may think that's normal, but the problem is that if you were to use your special, you wouldn't be able to move left while using your special, therefore meaning that it overlaps your special and your movement keybinds. Overlapping can cause lots of problems while doing complex things, and just overall limits what you can do. This is one of the reasons why I try to avoid overlapping keybinds. My solution to this issue would be binding my special to a mouse button, giving me total control over my movement, while also being able to use my special. Of course, this is impossible for all of your keybinds, but I recommend looking over your keybinds and changing the important ones to not overlap with anything. This may take a while to get used to, but trust me, it's worth it in the long run. Next, I would like to talk about your reticle. I recommend turning on static reticle. You could find it in gameplay and under the interface tab. Scroll all the way down and turn it on. What this does is it keeps your reticle static, meaning that if you were to shoot, it doesn't vibrate the lines. This really helps my tracking and accuracy when up close against players, and it makes it easier to focus on an enemy rather than my reticle. Overall, it's just less distracting for me while shooting other players. Next, we're going to go ahead back to the audio tab, and there should be a setting called night mode. What night mode does is that it makes footsteps louder and gun sounds quieter. Now me personally, I don't use it because I have my own audio EQ, but I highly recommend you at least try it because it really does help make footsteps louder, which can help you win more gunfights. Next, we're going to go back to the gameplay tab. Here, there's a setting in particular that is mostly opinion based. I recommend turning on auto sprint. Hear me out. Auto sprint is just one less thing you have to worry about while in a gunfight. It helps me in fights because I can focus on more of my strafing, like throwing in crouches while I'm fighting someone. This means that I can bind my old sprint key to something else. So overall, it's a small change, but it makes a huge difference in gameplay. Next, we're going over to the video tab to look at a few things. Now, I'm not here to go over every setting and tell you what to run. Instead, we're only going to go over settings that impact your games. So you should see something called frame rate limit. This setting caps your frames so it doesn't exceed a certain frame rate. This is important because if your frames aren't at a consistent frame rate, it can cause inconsistencies in your aim and cause unnecessary stress on your GPU. Depending on your monitor refresh rate, your cap would be the same. I have a 144Hz monitor, so I cap mine at 145 frames. I also recommend checking your quality settings once in a while, because sometimes it automatically gets changed by the GPU software. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory and can vary based on your system. Next, let's talk about your audio settings. This may seem like it doesn't matter, but let me tell you, it makes a massive difference. First, head over to your audio tab. Believe it or not, these settings are actually really important. Music should be set to low, but not too low. Let me explain. Music will start playing indicating that it's the last 15 seconds of the match. This can really help your decision making and tell you when to get ready to steal the cash out. The music helps me more than I would like to admit, so that's pretty much why I keep my music at 25. I keep sound effects at 100 because this includes all your in-game sounds like footsteps, explosions, guns, and everything in between. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I like to keep my commentator volume at 40. You may think that he's just a yapper, but actually, he drops crucial information throughout the match that you may not be paying attention to. For example, he announces team wipes. This can help you predict third parties and the optimal cash outs to fight. He also announces vault opens, cash out installs, and other really important information which can decide whether you win a game or not. And finally, dialogue volume. This is also really important because it controls the in-game voice lines of your teammates. Now, once again, you may think that it's really annoying hearing the voice lines, but actually it helps a lot. Because if your teammate pings something, it gives you an audio cue as well as a visual cue, which can really help in the heat of a moment situation. Or if a teammate gives a special ping like, you can easily understand without looking at the chat. So I like to keep it at 35 so it's loud enough but not annoying. This may be a little off topic, but I have to mention it. I'm talking about the Dough Wrangler model skin. If you play medium, you know what I'm talking about, but for the rest of you, this skin is pay to win. Let me explain. This is a normal model skin, and this is the Dough Wrangler skin. See the difference? Every time you shoot, the Dough Wrangler does a 360. This already makes it better, but it also helps with timing on the model, which is the reason why this skin is pay to win. And when I say pay to win, it's absolutely insane.
Okay. Oh, I'm better. One dead. Okay. Right green. Right. Holy. One dead. He's coming down. He's out. 1 HP dead. Nice. Got no skill. Nice, one guy. Nice. Got medium. Heavy one, heavy one. Nice. What? One dead. Nice. On me. One dead. Last guy, last guy. Wow, that was close. One dead, one dead. 1 HP. Right. No, let's go, let's go. Right. Nice. Right, there you go. We have. Okay. Okay, back out. It's off. Like. You dead? Don't wipe. One dead. What HP? Nice.
But before you click off this video, I can see how many people subscribe on each video. So if you subscribe, it will show me that you guys want to see more of these. Here is a video of me explaining the best loadouts to run in ranked.